Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to unlock some serious secrets about human nature today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going on a journey through Robert Greene's work,
Okay.
specifically his book, The Laws of Human Nature.
Right.
Ever feel like you're missing some kind of instruction manual for people?
Yeah.
That's what we're tackling today.
We're going deep.
Diving into how Greene decodes human behavior.
Not just surface level stuff, though.
Oh, definitely not.
We're going way
Deeper.
deeper into those hidden motivations and patterns that really shape how people act.
It's like a code.
It is.
What I find so interesting is how Greene blends empathy with analysis.
Yes. That's crucial.
So it's like seeing the world through someone else's eyes,
Right.
but not getting lost in our own emotions.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
So we're understanding where they're coming from,
Yeah.
but also stepping back and analyzing their actions objectively.
Precisely. Greene has a great analogy for that.
I love a good analogy.
Imagine two pairs of glasses. One pair gives you that empathy.
You can see your feelings.
Right. And the other pair, clear analytical lens.
So you switch back and forth.
Exactly, to
Wow.
get the complete picture.
That makes total sense. It's like trying to understand a complex machine.
Yes.
You see the parts, how they work together,
Uh-huh.
but then you step back and see what the whole machine is doing.
You got it. And this leads us to another big idea from Greene.
Okay, lay it on me.
Rationality is a skill.
Not something we're just born with.
Nope, we just learned.
So it's not about being smart,
Well, it's part of it.
but it's more than that.
It's about actively training our minds to think rationally.
Interesting.
Think of Pericles.
The Athenian leader.
Yes, during the Peloponnesian War.
Oh, wow. So much pressure back then.
Tons. Factions in Athens wanted war.
And I bet they were persuasive.
Oh, absolutely.
War brings out powerful emotions.
Fear, anger.
Exactly. But Pericles resisted that,
He did it.
advocated for a rational, strategic approach.
He was thinking long-term.
The well-being of Athens.
Exactly. And his approach, most successful.
Wow. So how can we be more like Pericles in our lives?
It's tough.
Avoiding those emotional hijacks.
Right. First, we need to recognize when those emotions are high.
Okay.
Ever notice how stress can make you impulsive?
Oh, totally. Or say things you regret.
It's like fight or flight mode kicks in.
Yeah.
That's when you got to take a step back.
Deep breaths.
See things objectively.
Facts over feelings.
Ask yourself, what are the facts here?
What are the consequences?
Yes. That brings us to nonverbal communication.
Oh, Greene talks about that.
It's a gold mine. It reveals true feelings.
Even if their words say something else.
Exactly. Those little cues, facial expressions,
Tone of voice, body language.
it all speaks volumes.
It's like a secret language.
It is. You can read between the lines.
Makes you wonder what we're all missing.
Right.
Need to pay attention to more than just words.
Absolutely. Sometimes those cues can be misleading, though.
Oh, that's tricky.
And that's where we dig into the shadow side.
Shadow side. Sounds a bit ominous.
It can be. Think of it like this.
Okay.
It's the hidden basement of our personality,
Huh?
where we keep all the dark stuff,
The impulses, desires.
stuff we might not even be aware of,
They're there.
and they can influence our actions.
Powerful stuff. How do we know when it's taking over, though?
Great question. Greene uses Richard Nixon as an example.
Nixon.
A brilliant politician, right?
Yeah.
But plagued by insecurity,
And paranoia.
which led to Watergate.
The downfall.
Classic example of dark impulses sabotaging things.
Okay, so most of us won't be in political scandals,
Hopefully not.
but we've all seen those out-of-character moments.
Yes, like sudden anger over something small.
So that could be the shadow side, emerging.
It could be. Greene says recognizing those signs early on is crucial,
For understanding others,
and for managing our own shadow side.
before it leads to destruction.
Exactly.
So how do we actually manage those impulses within ourselves?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
And that's what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait. We'll dive into managing those darker tendencies.
And avoiding getting caught up in other people's drama.
Sounds like a plan. See you next time.
Looking forward to it. So we've explored this shadow side, all those darker impulses. Greene argues, even though the context changes.
Like throughout history.
Exactly. Human nature stays pretty consistent.
So we're talking those cycles,
Yeah.
boom and bust, people making irrational decisions.
Precisely. Like the South Sea bubble.
That was in England, right? 18th century.
You got it. Massive financial scheme.
Everyone got caught up,
Even brilliant minds.
like Isaac Newton.
Yep. Lost to fortune.
So like logic goes out the window.
When everyone's in a frenzy.
Totally.
And this pattern. It repeats.
Over and over.
.com bubble, housing bubble, even crypto.
Oh, yeah, those were crazy times.
Same emotions driving it all.
Greed, fear of missing out.
That allure of easy money.
Have you ever felt that pull?
Oh yeah, I think we all have.
That urge to jump on the bandwagon.
Even when something feels off.
Exactly. So the key is recognizing those patterns.
Being aware of our vulnerabilities.
And being skeptical.
When something seems too good to be true.
So staying grounded even when everyone else is losing it.
Exactly. And this goes beyond finances.
Oh yeah, it applies to how we interact with others.
Green identifies these emphatic types.
Okay, the people we need to be careful around.
Let's just understand their patterns first.
Okay, sure.
Think of the status fiend.
Okay.
Imagine a networking event.
A lot of those happening.
Someone's bragging,
Name dropping.
showing off their connections.
Classic status fiend. All about appearances.
Exactly. They crave recognition.
And use manipulation to climb the ladder.
Sadly, yes.
I bet they're charming at first.
Oh, absolutely.
Hard to see those true motives.
For sure.
Another type?
The relentless rebel.
Oh, I've met a few of those.
Challenging authority.
Questioning everything.
But their energy can be misdirected.
Leading to conflict.
Unnecessary drama.
So it's not that challenging authority is bad.
Right.
It's how they go about it, their motivation.
If they're constantly criticizing
Finding fault.
without offering solutions.
Red flag.
Big one.
Okay, so we've talked external forces.
Now we turn inward. Time for some self-reflection.
Green talks about embracing ambition.
But isn't that a little, I don't know.
What do you think?
Shouldn't we be humble?
He challenges that idea.
Really?
He says it's more effective to acknowledge our ambitions.
So, not being arrogant,
Right.
but recognizing our potential.
Striving for something meaningful.
I like that.
He even suggests revisiting our childhood dreams.
Our earliest ambition.
Adapting them to our reality.
Like reconnecting with that inner spark.
That drive to make a difference.
This is powerful stuff.
It is. And it leads us to purpose.
True purpose.
Yes. He distinguishes that from false purposes.
Which lead to emptiness.
Dissatisfaction.
So what are those false purposes? Well, one is the endless pursuit of pleasure.
Chasing the next thrill.
Never feeling satisfied.
So pleasure's not bad.
No, not inherently.
But it shouldn't be everything.
Exactly. Another false purpose is the need to be right.
Always having to win the argument.
Proving your intelligence
What leads to conflict.
alienates others.
And seeking external validation.
Basing your worth on others' opinions.
Never feeling truly content.
Those are just a few examples.
So many traps.
The key is reflecting on what truly motivates us.
What brings us joy and meaning?
It's about asking yourself,
What gets me out of bed?
what makes me feel alive?
Those are clues to our true purpose.
And aligning our actions with that.
Brings true satisfaction.
You got it.
Okay, so we found our true purpose.
What's next?
How do we actually pursue it effectively?
Green talks about the reality group.
Reality group, what's that?
It's a team dynamic.
Okay.
Fosters contribution, open-mindedness,
And cooperation.
high-level cooperation.
Sounds amazing. Like the opposite of a toxic group,
Exactly.
where everyone's afraid to speak up.
Creating one doesn't have to be complicated.
So finding like-minded people,
Who share your values.
your passion for a project.
Yes. And one key principle,
Oh, okay. What is it?
resisting conformity,
Even when surrounded by strong opinions.
maintaining your independence,
So having the courage to speak up.
even if it means going against the grain.
Think about the groups you're in.
Do you feel comfortable expressing your opinions?
Even if they're different.
Are you encouraged to think critically?
Or do you feel pressure to conform?
These are important questions.
Makes me really think about the groups I choose.
And the dynamics within those groups,
Because it's about creating an environment
where everyone feels empowered.
to contribute their talents and perspectives.
And that's when amazing things happen.
So we've talked about understanding others,
Right.
recognizing patterns in history,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like Green's really focused on
We.
looking inward, understanding ourselves. That self-knowledge is key
It's the foundation.
for everything else.
Relationships, goals, everything
But you said earlier that true self-reflection.
can be tough.
Why is that?
It forces us to confront things.
Things we might not like.
Exactly. Parts of
No,
ourselves.
I want to acknowledge.
Those blind spots
Where our ego protects us.
from seeing the full picture.
So it's like we have this ideal image of ourselves,
Yeah.
and reality doesn't always match up
It's that gap
between perception and reality.
that becomes problems.
Frustration, disappointment.
Even self-sabotage?
So how do we bridge that gap?
Good question.
See ourselves more clearly.
Honest self-reflection.
Okay.
Examining our strengths, weaknesses,
Values, beliefs.
patterns of behavior,
Like taking inventory.
of our internal landscape.
And getting feedback from others.
That's crucial.
But that's tough, right?
It can be.
Nobody likes criticism.
Even constructive criticism.
Exactly.
So it takes humility
And a willingness.
to see ourselves through others' eyes.
That's hard.
Think of it like a mirror,
Okay.
reflecting back how our actions impact others.
So if we're brave enough,
To look in that mirror,
we can make adjustments.
refine our
Then
behavior.
become better versions of ourselves.
You got it.
Yeah.
And remember,
Okay.
this self-discovery,
Yeah.
it's ongoing,
We're always changing.
shaped by experiences.
Interactions. So it's not like we reach perfect self-knowledge
But-
and we're done.
It's a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It's about constantly learning,
Growing,
understanding ourselves better.
refining our approach to life.
And as we do that,
Yeah.
we can navigate relationships better,
Achieve our goals.
live more fulfilling lives.
Unlocking our potential.
Speaking of potential,
Oh, here we go.
Green has this concept,
Lay it on me.
practical grandiosity.
Practical grandiosity.
Yeah.
Usually grandiosity is
Negative, right?
arrogant, inflated ego.
But Green says there's a good kind.
A practical kind?
Channeling that energy
In a positive way.
that benefits everyone.
Not just being self-centered.
Exactly. It's about using our ambition,
Our desire for recognition.
our creative energy.
Towards meaningful goals.
Think of Coco Chanel.
The fashion designer.
She revolutionized fashion,
Liberated women from restrictive clothing.
created a timeless style,
She had that drive
that
to
ambition,
break boundaries.
and she built a thriving business.
Employed people, left a legacy.
It wasn't just about her.
Practical grandiosity.
It's not just a vision,
It's about action.
making it happen.
Green says there are key elements
First, a clear vision,
of what you want.
something that inspires you.
A passion.
Then you need skills.
Knowledge to make it real.
Courses, books, mentors,
Trial and error.
lifelong learning,
Constantly expanding.
and finally, willingness to take risks,
To persevere.
because there will be obstacles.
That's the true test.
It's easy to dream.
It's harder to achieve.
That's what separates dreamers.
From achievers. Wow, this has been so insightful.
Glad you enjoyed it.
I feel like I understand human nature better now.
That's the goal.
And how to apply it to my life.
Thanks for guiding us through this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Remember, everyone,
Yes.
the more we understand human nature,
The more freedom we have.
to shape our destiny.
Create a meaningful life.
Keep questioning, keep learning.
And keep diving deep.
See you next time.